Whatever good things we build end up building us. Jim Rohn. It is not the beauty of a building you should look at, it's the construction of the foundation that will stand the test of time. David Allan Coe. We shape our buildings, thereafter they shape us. Winston Churchill. Architecture is a visual art, and the buildings speak for themselves. Julia Morgan. Less is more. Ludwig Mies van der Rohe. Good buildings come from good people, and all problems are solved by good design. Stephen Gardiner. The ancient Romans built their greatest masterpieces of architecture, their amphitheaters, for wild beasts to fight in. Voltaire. Architecture is the art of how to waste space. Philip Johnson. I don't build in order to have clients. I have clients in order to build. Ayn Rand. Space has always been the spiritual dimension of architecture. It is not the physical statement of the structure so much as what it contains that moves us. Arthur Erickson. Architecture starts when you carefully put two bricks together. There it begins. Ludwig Mies van der Rohe. Light, God's eldest daughter, is a principal beauty in a building. Thomas Fuller. I try to give people a different way of looking at their surroundings. That's art to me. Maya Lin. Each new situation requires a new architecture. Jean Nouvel. Architecture is basically a container of something. I hope they will enjoy not so much the teacup but the tea. Yoshio Taniguchi. Architecture, of all the arts, is the one which acts the most slowly, but the most surely, on the soul. Ernest Dimnet. Architecture is invention. Oscar Niemeyer. Architecture begins where engineering ends. Walter Gropius. Every great architect is, necessarily, a great poet. He must be a great original interpreter of his time, his day, his age. Frank Lloyd Wright. Great buildings that move the spirit have always been rare. In every case they are unique, poetic products of the heart. Arthur Erickson. All architecture is great architecture after sunset. Perhaps architecture is really a nocturnal art, like the art of fireworks. Gilbert K. Chesterton. I don't divide architecture, landscape and gardening, to me they are one. Louise Barragan. Cities are the greatest creations of humanity. Daniel Libeskind. Those who look for the laws of nature as a support for their new works collaborate with the Creator. Antoni Gaudí. The work of art shows people new directions and thinks of the future. The house thinks of the present. Adolf Loos. To me, a building, if it's beautiful, is the love of one man. He's made it out of his love for space, materials, things like that. Martha Graham. What people want, above all, is order. Stephen Gardiner. I don't believe in morality in architecture. Michael Graves. Proportions are what makes the old Greek temples classic in their beauty. They are like huge blocks, from which the air has been literally hewn out between the columns. Arne Jacobsen. Painting, sculpture and architecture are finished, but the art habit continues. Robert Smithson. Whenever we witness art in a building, we are aware of an energy contained by it. Arthur Erickson. As a designer, the mission with which we have been charged is simple: providing space at the right cost. Harry von Zell. Poetry is not only dream and vision, it is the skeleton architecture of our lives. It lays the foundations for a future of change, a bridge across our fears of what has never been before. Audre Lorde. There are no rules of architecture for a castle in the clouds. Gilbert K. Chesterton. I don't think that architecture is only about shelter, is only about a very simple enclosure. It should be able to excite you, to calm you, to make you think. Zaha Hadid. Together let us desire, conceive, and create the new structure of the future, which will embrace architecture and sculpture and painting in one unity, and which will one day rise toward heaven from the hands of a million workers like the crystal symbol of a new faith. Walter Gropius. I see music as fluid architecture. Joni Mitchell. The ultimate goal of the architect is to create a paradise. Every house, every product of architecture, should be a fruit of our endeavor to build an earthly paradise for people. Alvar Aalto. The greatest advances of civilization, whether in architecture or painting, in science and literature, in industry or agriculture, have never come from centralized government. Milton Friedman. Every man's work, whether it be literature, or music or pictures or architecture or anything else, is always a portrait of himself. Samuel Butler.